Yeah, we should have. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Kadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Bhunityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to our Sunday Feast program. Been asked to speak on this subject of the holy occasion of Sri Ram Navami. Seek the blessings of the Vaishnavas, the Srila Prabhupada, and the beloved lordships to speak a few words for my purification. Hare Krishna. The glories of Sri Ramachandra have been sung for millions upon millions of years. It is so powerful a pastime which the Lord depicted during his manifest Leela that has actually carved and sculpted the very direction of human civilization for thousands and thousands of years. How powerful is the Lord's pastimes, and how impactful is His presence been to human civilization since so many millennium. Ram Navami. Now has two meanings. Now means 9, the ninth day of the moon he was born. And Nav also means new. And that is why they say alphabetically, if you multiply 9 with 1, it is 9. Multiply 9 with 2, it is 18. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 and 4 is 36. 3 plus 6 is 9. So Ram Navami, Ram's Leela are always going to be never new. Even now when you and I read Ramayana, our hearts erupt with joy to see the beautiful saga of this great saint Sripad Valmiki wrote in 24,000 beautiful verses over 7 kands consisting of the Balya Kand, Ayodhya Kand, Aranya Kand, Sundar Kand, Yuddha Kand, Uttar Kand. 7 kands. It starts off very beautifully. And one day in his hermitage, Sripad Valmiki is sitting there, and Narad Muni, being the way he is, the spontaneous space traveler, landed in his hermitage. And that inspired Valmiki to ask a very powerful question. The relationship between the spiritual master and disciple is based on asking questions and getting perfect answers. One of Prabhupada's books is called Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. So it's a perfect question by Sripad Narad Muni, by Valmiki, and a perfect answer by his Guru Maharaj. So he asked, who's the most perfect personality in this world today? Who's free from anger, who's most beautiful and charming, who's compassionate and also very courageous, who's very, very dutiful in all his duties which is required for him to perform. At the same time, he is extremely grateful at heart. He is very, very chivalrous and powerful, and he is full of all virtues, being the well-wisher of all living beings. Who is this person who is Sarva Guna Sampanna? Therefore, he is called, one of the names of the Lord is Aganita Guna Gana Bhushana Ram. Right? Narad Muni was most happy to hear this question, and he knew the answer spontaneously, immediately. But he was so choked up with emotion that he couldn't say. So I'll tell you this answer tomorrow. His eyes were brimming with tears to remember his blessed Lord. And next day he said that this person is none other than Sri Ram. There are 3 Purushottamas. There is Ram, who's Maryada Purushottama. There is Krishna, who's Leela Purushottama. There is Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who's Audarya Purushottama. Right? Maryada Purushottama means he is the ultimate standard benchmarking for all that is good in this world. If there is anybody courageous, the standard is Ram. If anybody is dutiful in this world, it is Ram. If it is a true well-wisher of all living beings and grateful person, it is Sri Ram. So he is the Maryada. Maryada means the very highest limits of excellence is Ram. If that is Ram, then Krishna, his excellence is all that is in Ram, and beyond that, element of beautiful sweetness. Not much of Ram's pastimes in his childhood are given in the Valmiki Ramayana, maybe 1 or 2, and a few in Kamba Ramayana in Tamil language. But as far as we are concerned, as Vaishnavas, we have hundreds and hundreds of pastimes of Krishna's childhood pastimes. And obviously, when a child performs pastimes, it is always so sweet. So that is this Krishna. And Audari means unlimited compassion, even to the most undeserving. Imagine now all three in one. And how merciful will be that personality. That is the Shadbhuj form of the Lord, which was revealed to his dear devotee, Sri Sarvam Bhattacharya. And therefore in Kali Yuga, actually, Prabhupada even recommends that the person who is most worshipable actually is Shadbhuj form of the Lord. Because all three, the grace of all these three highestly most divine personalities is there in one. The Lord is considered as the caretaker of Ayodhya. A few words about Ayodhya would be important to talk about. All the more now that Ayodhya is come on the map of everyone's heart because of Lord Ram's present the holy land of India. One that is not conquerable, Ayodhya, Yuddha. One which cannot be defeated in Yuddha is Ayodhya. Very long, 12 yojanas long, 3 yojanas wide city, right? Replete with moats and the highest defense mechanisms of the time, making it impenetrable and invincible. Advanced technologies, even there is no rain for a long, long time, there's never any deficiency. Completely guarded by highest security systems. It was not only invincible from external attacks of enemies, as any kingdom would want to be, but it was not even attacked by internal enemies, and that is important. The residents of Ayodhya expressed the highest degree of moral behavior and character. There was no need for charity in Ayodhya. Nobody did any charity. Why? Everyone was supremely prosperous. There's no need. And if someone had anything less, then Dasharatha Maharaj was more than happy to share whatever he had to the limits. One of the most charitable kings the world has seen. Dasharatha Nandan. Ram is called as Dasharatha Nandan. It starts off with Ayodhya was governed by Khatwanga Maharaj, the great devotee whom we heard about. You know the story of Khatwanga Maharaj, ancestor of Lord Ram, who was told that you only have one moment to live in this world. That Khatwanga Maharaj. Dirghabahu, it was followed by Aja, then Raghu, then Aja, and then Dasharatha, and then his son Sri Ram. So for 11 years, there was no rain in Ayodhya. But nobody felt the absence of rain because there was so much of systematic, water arrangements done. The 12th year, something was felt that some deficiency is there. And then the astrologer said that it is because Shani is having its crooked vision on Ayodhya. The story will tell us about how Ram had two fathers. Ram had two fathers and 8 brothers. There were 8 brothers. I'll tell you about that. How did he have 2 fathers? So Dasharatha Maharaj, coming to know that his city of Ayodhya, whom he is supposed to take care as the guardian of the land for his praja, his citizens, became concerned and he attacked Shani on his chariot. Shani, looking at him with, with more crooked eyes, made his chariot fall from the sky. And he was falling free fall, G equal to 9.8 meters per second square. Free fall. He was falling. He was seen by Jatayu. And Jatayu opened his wings. It's a huge bird. And his chariot fell on the soft feathers of Jatayu. His life was saved. And Jatayu said, I am with you. So Dasharatha said, okay, let's go and attack Shani again. So now with Jatayu's presence, Jatayu was extremely powerful. Very, very powerful personality. Right? And unlimited strength. When they both attack, he says, so I don't want to fight with you. I remove my vision, crooked vision from Ayodhya. He turned his face, and there was rain. Dasharatha Maharaj was very happy with Jatayu. He said, ask for benediction. Jatayu said, if you ever get a son, give him to me. And that's how we know that when Jatayu was found wounded, Dasharatha Maharaj gave him the love of a son. He couldn't perform the last rites of his father because he was not there in the kingdom. But he performed the last rites of this vulture. Right? Because he was father. So Ram has two fathers. Jatayu had the same Vatsalya bhav for Ram, and Ram had the same paternal feeling for this great vulture devotee of his. However, Dasharatha's joy started to wane away when after marrying 350 wives, he had no son. And the Raja or his Praja must provide an heir to the throne. A beautiful story about Maharaj Rishabh, which you have probably heard before. But since it is Ram Navami, we must talk about the Lord's divine appearance. Janma karma chame divyam. So, Rishabh informs Maharaj that we must now perform the Putra Kameshti Yagya. The qualification for doing this is to do before that a Ashwamedh Yagya, in which you have to send, as you know, the horse all over the world. That being performed and successfully done, Putra Kameshti Yagya is performed. And this divine being appears. The pot, golden pot of sweet rice. The first portion goes to Kaushalya. She gets the first portion. Second portion goes to Sumitra. The third one goes to his dearmost wife, Kaikai. There is still some more rice, sweet rice. Whom should I give it to? Since the womb of Kaushalya was to be occupied with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there's no room for somebody else there. And Sumitra is called as Sri Lekha. Sri Lekha, now Jasam Maharaj was overly attached to Kaikai, we know, because of her outstanding beauty. But he was not aware of Sumitra's good qualities also. He was not blind to that. She had the quality of being completely non-envious, extremely cooperative, and tremendous attitude of seva. Therefore, these three qualities, when they are there, they call as Sri Lekha. Sri means that opulence of these three qualities were there. And knowing this, the last part goes back to Sumitra. Kaushalya honors it immediately. Then Kaikai honors it. Sumitra waits. And then she honors it. Why? because she wanted her sons to be followers of Kaikai and Kaushalya. The mood of the mother before pregnancy and during pregnancy determines to a large extent the mood and the character of the child. So Ram also is called as Kaushalya Sukhavardhana Ram. Kaushalya Sukhavardhana Ram. So it takes Ram, it takes the pregnancy. We have human pregnancies, the 9 months and 9 days. But Ram is divine. It took 12 months. So 12 months, and at the time when the Punarvasu star is manifesting, the Lord was born. The next day morning, Lakshman is born, Bharat is born. And the next day in the afternoon, the two twins are born. So we don't celebrate them, but we should acknowledge that next day is Lakshman's appearance day and the twin brothers' appearance day as well. So both days actually are very, very holy for us. Ram Navami and then also Dashmi, both are important. As the news reached Dashrath, when Nanda Maharaj came to know that the child is born to Yashoda Mai, right? It was the morning time, and there was time when everyone was milking the cow. So the distance from where he was milking the cows in the barn with the cows and the maternity home of Yashoda Mai, it said he couldn't walk. He was just frozen in emotion, right? And the Lord had to help him to actually walk to the maternity room. He was so much overtaken by joy. Dashrath felt that the distance between his palace and the place where Kaushalya was staying, her palace, was so far. He couldn't just walk enough fast. But he ultimately reached, right? And when he beheld this child in his hand, right? All the 6 opulence of the Lord, Aishwaryasya Samagrasya, Viryasya Yashasasriya, Jnanam Vairagyaschaiva, Shandam Bhaga, Itingana. Right? These are the personality of Godhead's opulences, which are defined by Sripad Parasar Muni. Ram excels in beauty. There are various times in the Ramayana where Ram's beauty has been described very beautifully. When Dashrath is holding Ram in his hands, he felt that the whole universe has come into his hands. His eyes became completely transfixed. He had never seen such a beautiful child, and nobody has ever seen such a beautiful child. Most beautiful child. His heart was overflowing and melting away. He wanted to give thousands of cows in charity. He wanted to celebrate in a big way by giving all the Brahmanas as much as they wanted. He wanted to have great festivals. But he forgot all of that because Ram was in front of him. And therefore his heart was melting away in joy just by looking at Ram. At other times, where this beauty is described is when Vishwamitra Muni goes with Ram and Lakshman to the forest, as we know, as young children, 16-year-old, when the Vishwamitra Muni takes them to the forest for taking care of the atrocities created by Tataka, Subahu and Maricha. So, when they are going through the various forests, right, and then at one time it is described in the Ramayana that Ram and Lakshman are sleeping on the green grass. They are princes, used to all opulences, but now with Vishwamitra Muni, they are so happy to perform the austerities of being just simple pupils of this great sage Vishwamitra Muni. And Vishwamitra Muni gets up earlier because he is a sage used to a consistent lifestyle where he gets up very early in the morning, performs his oblations, and when he comes and sees these two children, his people sleeping, Vishwamitra is awestruck. Yeah. is awestruck to see. There again, this powerful sage, in one sense, the sage is extremely hard-hearted because he has done so much tapasya in his life. Those of us, we know the story of Vishwamitra tapasya, right? We know that there's nobody we can imagine, who had tapasya done to such a degree. He was such a great tapasvi. From Brahmarshi, Devarshi, he kept on doing tapasya to get equal to Vashishta. We know the story, right? So he was so hard, tough, as you call it. But by seeing the beauty of these two small 16-year-old lads sleeping, his heart started melting away. For the first time in his entire life, Vishwamitra experienced unlimited affection for somebody coming through a soft heart. Who could do that? The beauty of Sri. They only had heard of Ram. They never seen him. But as they're sitting Ram is coming from afar, and they're on the top of the hill in their hermitages. And through the trees, they see an emerald golden effulgence walking. A green colored emerald golden effulgence is walking through between the tree leaves, you can see something walking. And their jaws dropped. Who's this person? Even without seeing him fully, in his full form, they were so struck with wonder. Who is this person? As Ram comes, walked like an elephant, powerful gait, confident, right? Long arms, ajanulambita bhujo, right? Thin waist, lotus-like eyes, beautiful curling hair, and such a beautiful smiling face, which draws from your heart affection, love, and bhakti, right? When they see that, these great sages who are otherwise used to so much of tapasya, our